Greetings everyone, hello and welcome to Farthest Frontier. The full version is upon us, the full release. Finally this game is coming out of it and version 1.0 is playable, and here we are now in the game itself with our very first structure that we need to construct in this game, and that is of course the town center. Boy, I've been waiting for this moment for a very long time, because this is probably one of the best medieval city builders out there right now, together with Manor Lords, definitely on par with it. And in this case here, the game has been overhauled so much with this version that of course it's absolutely worth diving into this one again. We got, for example, now a huge knowledge tree that we can explore with a lot of new tech available to us as well. We got a new population tier, we got way more polish down the road, more performance issues have been fixed, we got a lot of new production chains as well that we can look at, and yeah, the game is just very complex at this point, and I can't wait to show it to you and also to try it out myself, of course, all the features. Right now we're building the town center right here. It's the first year, right? Early spring it is right now. This game heavily relies on season mechanics, and in this case here every season is distinctly different from the other one. So yeah, we need to survive the seasons. Let's have a quick look on the map itself. Got some hunting grounds over there. We're playing on Trailblazer difficulty, by the way, on a very large map. And in this case, we got some stone deposit over there that I can see lots of. Oh, there are willow bushes, so that means there should be water here, right? So that is something that we can definitely keep in mind for some great fishing. In the north, we got a clay deposit, an iron ore deposit, unfortunately just a small one. And that's about it as well. We need to survive the seasons, we need to survive raiders, wild animals, and also, of course, our own population, because all of them are simulated.
Hello.
There we have him. Hawkren, for example. He's a laborer right now, 32 years old. He's got, well, not the best mood right now. He's a bit hungry, he's a bit cold, and in this case here, he just wants to get a shelter going, right? So yeah, villager happiness is actually really bad at the moment. So it's important that we finish this first structure and also chop down some trees in between. After all the resources are in, the structure is finally being finished. And there it is. Sleepy Hollow has been founded with that, the tier 1 town center it is, and it basically revolves around this single structure here, the game. This structure needs to survive. If it goes down, the game is over. And also here we have the overview over all the menus this game provides, and we can also see the requirements that we have to upgrade this one here. Now we continue though, because with the town center we have unlocked a bunch of buildings now, and the first ones of course are the most important ones, the food production buildings. So let's get this going. Got some hunting ground over there, so I would like to start with a hunting cabin not too far away, and also a forager shack to gather us some berries and stuff like that. A basic well provides water and also fire safety improvements. There's a salvage site over there. I have no idea what this is. We can salvage it and just look what is looking behind that. So let's actually also target it as salvaging, though my people are quite busy right now getting construction done. There is a very big deer deposit here, or deer herd, right? So they're migrating a bit further to the north now when you build structures, so they don't disappear or anything like that. They rather just move on the map to the next location that is possible. And there's my hunting cabin coming along. And with that, we can also now assign someone to that. So yeah, Derek is doing that. And let's also assign a work area. And it's going to be this one here where we have those deer deposits just there. Very nice. Very important also, what we need is a firewood splitter right away. Let's get this one a bit further away probably, because this one is polluting, right? So it's reducing the desirability of the surrounding area. You don't want that close to your houses then. And immediately he starts to hunt. And like everything in this game, also the carcass is simulated.
What is it?
And he's now picking up that carcass, right? And he's getting this back and butchering then leather, meat, and even tallow out of it. And all of that can be then used for further processing. Alright, let's also check out some rocks. There it is, because we need them for stone structures. There is one, and there is also one. Let's harvest these. It's at this point that we should also build the first shelters then, or at least plan them, right? And we're gonna need a bunch of them. So let's make a block of shelters here, right? Like so. because the reason why I'm doing it like this is that we keep a bit of a space in between, because these buildings want ornaments or parks, right? And you can build them in there, and this increases the desirability of the area. There's probably way more efficient layouts than this, but it's a start. Let's also start with the first road for Sleepy Hollow, and this can be then used for faster traveling on it. It's just beautiful that when you know there's a big city coming out of it. We're starting with the very first shelters now, and it all starts here really. The next goal, of course, is to start immigration. Right now we need to provide a home for my own population, and we're going beyond that a bit to provide homes for more people to move in them. So there is the shelter now. 4 people we can squeeze into this one, and yeah, the shelters can be upgraded then. So this is the tier 1 housing, right? The very basic one. And once we provide, for example, a town center tier 2, a desirability level of 30%, 2 different type of foods, and also a well, we can upgrade this one. And then more people can be living in here, but also more demands arise from it, of course. Alright, 4 each, so that means with 3 shelters we have already our whole population sheltered, and the rest is then for immigration. Alright, firewood splitter, very important that this is going now, because we need to prepare for the first winter. Right now it's spring, firewood consumption is very low because of that, but of course with winter firewood consumption will be very high. And we're now processing logs into firewood. That means we also need to chop down some more trees here. And I also just love how they're continuing with their daily life. So this has also been improved with the patches, right? So it's more simulated than ever now. So Stelana, for example, she's now doing the laundry right now. And she also has her own inventory, right? Where she has some preserves right now. She consumed that. And now she still has some milk and some root vegetables. And also the shelter has its own inventory. There's some water stored, some food stored, some vegetables stored inside. Let's also quickly check out our professions. So right now we have the firewood splitter working, the hunter, the forager, and we still have 7 laborers available right now. They're doing very important work right now, that is transportation, right? Keeping the economy alive. And then we also got 2 builders, 1 builder. This is fluctuating based on demand up to let's keep it at 4 for now. At this point, we should also provide a bit of storage. So I'm going to build me a storage yard over there. And it's always a safe thing to keep a bit of space around buildings, because you never know what you need to add then as well. For example, a wall around the storage area. The stockyard will be a target of raids. So, you know, there should be room for some fortifications around that. Getting more busy here now for my people. A few more roads we construct. The next shelter has been finished. With that, we have now available room here for immigration. We still need to provide more food though. So right now we have 4 months of food supply. Out of these 4 months, 2 months will be spoiled though before they can be used. So we also need to provide something there, some storage, because right now the food is just lying around. Also, we need to amass 4 months of food supply and 6 houses to start immigration. That's important. Now for the storage, I would like to really build my root cellar. For this, however, we need to finish the stockyard first. And your villager immigrated. Wellesley has arrived and joined us. With that, we got 1 more person available. There he is, Wellesley, and he's now immediately starting chopping trees. He also got some basic clothing here, shoes, linen clothes and hide coats, and some tools. Finally, we finished our stockyard. So here we can now store all kind of raw materials like firewood, like planks, like ore, and even also wood. So it doesn't need to lie around anymore. And we have unlocked the root cellar that I would like to build as well right away. Root cellar is also target of raids. So I'm going to place this one a bit closer here to my stockyard, just beside that, and have it here then close together. Another important building that we have now is the saw pit, and here we can now process then logs into planks, and I'm gonna have this a bit further away where we also have our firewood splitter here in this area. The reason for that is simple. It is once again causing a lot of undesirability in its surrounding area. So I can already see that this is probably gonna be an industry zone here for us, also because we have clay and iron close by. Makes sense to me. So speaking about zones, right? So industry zone, for example, neighborhood zone number 1, district number 1. We're gonna have more districts. Each district is then provided by different service buildings, like a market and a church, but that's for later. And over here, we still have something, and that is a fertility area. So fertile land that we have there. Very high fertility here. These are important because you need to start with farming rather soon. We have another fertile area up here, and we have another fertile area over here. So we have plenty of fertile area around us. This is the closest one, and it's also very fertile here in the center. So it's a good area to start also some basic farming that we can have. We're probably not going to keep those fields forever though, because it's too close to the city, right? But we can definitely start with it, and we should start with it because, yeah, we do need a lot of farming. So let's have number 1 here, and probably number 2 then right beside it. I'm going to start with 2 fields. Might even have 3 fields, honestly. Oh, and 7 people would like to join right away. Since we have a bit of food now and a bit of shelter, I'm going to accept them, of course. There they are. That is a massive jump in population. Also, a lot of mouths to feed, right? So it's important to now finish those fields then. It's probably not going to be any harvest this year, but for next year it might be very useful. I'm probably going ahead right away with another forager shack now that we have so many people. And let's just check it out. Oh, hunting ground. Wait a second. Hunting can be done over winter. We are already nearing now autumn. So hunting will be more important to me during the first winter than gathering. There's another deer deposit down here, or herd. So let's build me a hunting cabin somewhere here. And there's also fishing grounds here, potentially. Let's check it out. Yeah, could be. So let's have a fisher here beside my hunter. Those two together, right? To provide me some food then down here as well. By the way, while we're here, let's actually also build me the next forager hut, because there's some willow down there, and I'm gonna need that, right? This one here, the willow bushes, and that's the forager. So we have a gathering zone, you know, gathering zone, and yeah, these gathering zones we can then just move around freely. You can move, by the way, every building in this game rather easy with the relocate button. So you're not that fixed into its location. Alright, also this neighborhood here continues with a road, and this one goes down. More people would like to join if we build a market. Finally, we have finished the well. That was important. This is producing now endless amounts of water. And my saw pit is finished. 2 people join immediately. You can employ up to 6 people in here. And this is now processing logs into planks. Okay, the firewood splitter. I'm considering now adding a second one to the firewood splitter, but despite all the immigration, we're not very liberal with laborers, right? We don't have that many, so I'd rather not do it for now. I think, yeah, the farmers, right? We already assigned some to the farmers automatically when placing the fields. We already have 8 of 8 farmers, and they're now preparing the fields. This will take some time though, because you need to, yeah, prepare the ground first, and that's 2,800 work hours we need out of that. That's a lot. They're gonna be busy all year. Okay, the next hunter has been finished. Gonna get them a bit further over here. You can also have lots of trapping here, which is great. So that means there's a lot of small animals, like rabbits. And in this case here, we can lay traps to hunt them down. My forager. Let's move it a bit further over here as well. Oh, wait a second. We kind of like have this hunting. There you go. Haven't placed it yet properly. And then we have this one. There's willow now as expected. There are nuts, and there are also herbs in this area that we want to harvest. Netta has also joined us. So we got 21 people now. That means only 3 months of food are left. Holy cow. We're growing a bit too quickly there. So please, let's prioritize our fishing shack. And with that, it's autumn. The map changes a bit. Beautiful. I'm not gonna build more shelters though for now, so I've paused the construction. I don't want to have endless immigration there, as long as we cannot provide them. We really should also finish the salvaging here. It's at this point that we also finished our first knowledge point. So knowledge is automatically generated from my people. And in this case here, we can now decide where we want to spend this first knowledge point. And over here we got the food area, and food is just so important to me in the beginning that I'm probably gonna go ahead with it. And yeah, there is one here, the wood lower, 5 more resources gathered per forage source. This sounds very good to me. So my gatherers are being sped up with that. So I'm gonna invest my first knowledge point into this. Alright, also that fishing shack is very important to us. Got the fisher, and let's assign her to that lake over there. And autumn already goes into winter. As the first snow is falling, we have also finished our root cellar. Cute little buildings here, and once again, like every building, this also can be then upgraded. And yeah, with that, hopefully we reduce the spoilage of my food. We can also build something else, and that is a smokehouse. This consumes firewood, fish and meat to produce cooked or smoked meat and smoked fish, which increases its durability once again. Let's have this also somewhere here in my industry zone, close to my smokehouse then, where all the processing happens. Alright, salvage site, this really takes a long time. Field work has stopped, right, because of the frost now. And we can also see it's freezing temperatures already, a moderate breeze we have. And yeah, people are now going to live more in their shelters. You don't see that many outside anymore. Just one person really, 2. And yeah, that means now firewood consumption goes up, but we should have enough for the first winter. Doesn't take long for everything to become white. I love especially the atmosphere in this game in winter. And how you can actually see the light coming out of these buildings. Even though there's not that many windows yet. And yeah, it's getting really cold now, deadly cold temperatures. Everybody has a warm home though, at least. I can see there is another salvage site over there that we have discovered. Very nice. So we have this fog of war around us, right? And the more my villagers venture outside, the more we discover outside there. Like another clay deposit and an infinite deep stone deposit over there. This is very useful for later. Villager happiness is not so bad. It's Christmas season right now, so everybody's really home. There's no work being done in this period here, right? In the last part of winter. So in this case here, everybody's really just in their shelters. At least they're happy. They still have the shoes. Oh, Christmas season is over. People are going back to work. And yeah, they still have their shoes, you know, their clothing. So they're actually pretty happy. This though is also depleting. So we need to also provide shoes and clothing at some point. Right now though, we want to finish that smokehouse here to start making food more durable. We're also down now to only 2 months of food supplies, but people start working now again, so we should actually ramp it up. The forager shack cannot work right now, so the hazelnut bushes and stuff like that are only now regrowing. Year 1 has been survived, and year 2 has started with that. So once again, it's springtime. The work continues. Okay, salvaging is almost finished now on this one. Let's just see what we get out of it. There it is, loot acquired. Oh wow. 70 gold ingots, hide coats, we got baskets, linen clothes, bows, shoes, some weapons, bit of tool, firewood and stone especially, and also some arrows for my hunter. Actually really good. a good amount of stuff that you get out of this. The first field has been finished. You're getting overwhelmed with a lot of information, so we're gonna skip that right away and start with our rotation. So as we can see, wheat level is at 85% right now for a field, right? And we want to get this down, so I'm starting immediately with some field work here. I would also like to start harvesting this year though, because we got a very good fertility rating. So let's start with the cabbage. The cabbage is super awesome because it is very frost and very heat resistant. And it gives you a lot of food. However, it reduces the fertility of the field by 4%. So we need to make sure that we do have something else then for the next year. So we got a 3-year rotation here, right? Next year, for example, I would like to work on some clover. That is increasing the fertility by 3%. However, it does not produce anything else, right? There's no food coming out of it. Then I would like to have some more field work, and then I would like to squeeze something in here, and that's the pea. The pea is very frost resistant, so I'm going to have it in the latter part of the year. So next year is then field management primarily, right, together with the peas. The peas, by the way, also increase fertility by 1%. Together with the clover, we do have then a fertility increase by 4%, so that's countering the cabbage more or less. Then for the 3rd year, it's a bit far away from that at this point, but let's actually have something here. I would once again go with something that increases fertility. So we'll get the beans. That is a heat tolerance, so I'm going to have this one in the summer season here. Yeah, and with that, we have the first field finished. You want to have some food variety, right? That's very important. People want that. It increases happiness, and it is a requirement for leveling up those shelters. So we have different types of food coming out of this. Alright, it's important that we finish that smokehouse here. And for that we need to work on more logs. And we have 5 laborers for this. Very good. Should be enough. They're carrying these resources right now. Got another knowledge point. I would like to work on the sustainable farming. So 25% reduced fertility penalty from planting crops. This is very important, but it's not the only reason why I'm pushing now into farming. It's because we got the disease resistance here, and then we unlock grain crops. And you want to have grain crops for bread production, which is a very, very good source of food. So we need to unlock this quickly here. And then we also have the fishing bonus here. And next I would probably like to go then all the way over here to mining, stone mining, and then also mining upgrade here that allows me then to actually get ore out of the ground. That is something that we're gonna need soon as well. Alright, sawmill, yeah, you're not really working there right now. We don't have that many logs. Let's continue the chopping. I don't have a dedicated forester right now. This is something we can only get at tier 2. Second field, ready for work. It's already almost mid-year, so we are going to push something quickly. We could actually go for the cabbage as well, right? It's not advisable to have the same type, but it's such a high yield of food that I definitely want to push this. For next year, we're also having some field work then and clover, and then something smaller there again that is also frost resistant. Very good. And for the last year, I'm gonna go with clover again, and then clover, and then something that has a mixed impact. Yeah. Impending heat wave. The winds have died down and a period of sweltering heat has set in that could last for weeks. Ah, yeah, nice. Thank you very much. We might not get a very good cabbage harvest out of this one here this year. Though it has a good heat resistance, so it should actually be fine. Next shelter. We need 8 shelters to meet that requirement here, right? So with this block here, we have finished it then. Another thing we need to do right away is the Fletcher building. Reason for that is the Fletcher produces bows but also arrows, and we need them. If we're running out of arrows, the hunters cannot work anymore. So let's go ahead and get this one started right away, somewhere over here. Doesn't decrease the desirability of the area. Okay, finally also the smokehouse is coming along. Took a long time to get the resources. This one's consuming now firewood and meat, or fish and firewood to produce the respective resources. A villager has been born. I think it's a first birth. Matter, she's called. Age 1. And she's now living in that shelter, I think up to age 8. And then she starts moving out. We'll just see. The first villager. That's really cause to celebrate. What's not so celebration-wise is my food supply. It's down to 2 months now. So, could be tricky. How many more people do we have? 4 laborers. Alright. We're starting now also here with the fletcher building. I'm gonna increase the ratio here towards the arrows, right? So 2 times arrows he's producing and then a bow. And he continues with that ratio. I'm also continuing with chopping down some trees. Actually not these here. And especially here also. So I'm really hoping that we get a good harvest this year. That will last us then through the winter. What a peaceful occupation. My fisher. Even though I would be very much afraid of wolves in the forest. Also, we lost the first crops to animals. So the deer surrounding the area are now moving into my fields and eating them. Right, so another thing that we should prepare here, and that is the fencing. To cut off this area here with a fence. Right, and since we are gonna have another field over here though. Wait a second, let's make it like this. Gonna wait on that. Can we make it this big? No, it's maximum size, really. That's a surprise. I cannot make it this long, unfortunately. So I'm gonna make me some 2 smaller fields here. And only now do I get my fence around that. This will take quite some time. But it's absolutely necessary to prevent animals from entering here. Okay, storehouse is my priority right now. And villagers are unable to find space to store produce goods. That's the storehouse missing still. We only just unlocked this, so let's finish it quickly. 3 builders we have should be enough. Also, that first harvest came in. Very nice. That was a very good harvest. And we got 700 cabbage now in the smokehouse, leading to 22 months of food. But that's not it, of course, because 14 months are being spoiled right away. So it's probably gonna last us until next spring just fine. And with that, at least the next winter has been secured food-wise. Firewood also looks great. So we can look towards Christmas with a good stomach. Another knowledge point has been generated. Very good. We cannot go for tier 2 yet because we need a tier 2 town hall for this. So I can already work on my next tier 1 tag that we have over here, the stone cutting. Speeds up stone cutting and further allows me then to move into mining. For the town hall, we need to get 30 people in. We have the room for this theoretically now, and I need to build a market. The market, however, needs a storehouse. So this one here needs to be finished first. 3 villages immigrated and 2 villages were born. 5 new peeps in general, in total, leading to 27 people now. Sleepy Hollow is growing. Okay, wood-wise, we are fine. Let's chop a few more things. There are always new trees growing, right? These here, baby tree, bigger tree, mature tree. Okay, I think this one's also harvest season now. Yeah, looks good. I think it might actually overwhelm my root cellar then, which is at half capacity now. And yeah, with the next harvest, the root cellar is full. That's good. We don't need more food than that right now. And a new winter is upon us. Fieldwork stops. And we're also getting our storehouse finally. There it is. Storing now any kind of processed good, right? So that means weapons, for example, arrows and bows, my shoes, clothing, and stuff like that. It's being stored in here. And with that, we have now the market unlocked. And the market is basically creating our first district now, right? Because with the market, you can have then a lot of buildings surrounding that, generating money. For this, I would like to move now my hunting cabin a bit further down here, or a bit further up here, into the hill, together with my fishing rack, and together with my forager shack. a bit closer into this area. So we have then 2 gathering areas opposite of each other, which I think is great for moving around. And let's get the market going. As we can see, we want to maximize its potential yields then. So I'm gonna have this one probably here. Looks good. Let's place it. And we can also continue with the next housing then here. Another 3 huts. Labor shortage. That's because those fields already consume workers without being used actually. So I think when I pause construction... Oh, wait a second. No, I cannot do this. Okay, I can actually delete them, but I'm not doing that either. Just gonna keep it as is. Year 3 is upon us. The first raids might start soon, so we should also prepare for them. And there's also now the market coming along. And the market is generating money now for us. Taxes, right? That's important. As we can see up here, we have it now. So there should be taxes now appearing then soon. And all of them are taxed based on their desirability, based on their happiness. Also, the marketeer is stocking the market with resources from my storage area. It's a bit further away right now, but it's fine because it's a very low amount of population at the moment. There's going to be another storage area here, and especially here since there's further area, right? So we are having another industry zone over there popping up then pretty soon as well. Right, for my crops, there's gonna be food again at the end of the year then. We should be fine until then. And these here, I'm actually gonna pause now, right? So we don't need that many fields for now. So this one's paused, and this one's paused as well. Even though, you know what, we can have 1 assigned for each that is tending now. And the thing is, they're not strictly working on their own fields all the time, right? If they've got nothing to do on their fields, they're trying to find work at the other fields as well. So you can basically have it like that. And you know what? Let's actually get something going here, like the peas. And here I'm going to have some field work. And then we're having, yeah, a cabbage probably here. And next year it's going to be clover and field work. And then some peas. Taxes are coming in now, and we do get 5 gold per month out of that first smaller district that we have. And with this, we have now all the requirements for upgrading the town center. We need 60 planks for this and 30 stone. This is something we don't have yet. So it's important that we really start harvesting some rocks. And also assigning another person to the saw pit. I really want to finish that town center this year. Six people would like to join. I'm gonna accept them. Don't have the housing yet, but already prepared. And I can take all the laborers and builders that we have. Yeah, quite busy at the fields. The fence is also coming along. It's not finished though yet, and we lost 77 crops here eaten by animals. This is reducing my cabbage harvest this year. But since we have 4 fields here working now, it should be fine, right? There's also some harvest coming out of my beans. And yeah, even though there's only 1 farmer assigned to it. But since they're helping out each other, it's gonna be fine. And finally, this year still, we can upgrade the town center to tier 2. Let's go ahead and do this. This will take quite some time, as we need a lot of resources. Had a good harvest, so 21 months of food supply. The root cellar is once again bursting, And also my smokehouse has quite a lot of smoking to do. All the resources are in. There's a lot of work here, so we need quite a lot of builders. 4 we have. Okay, should be fine. Also, by the way, speed level 5 is also new with the full release version here. So before that was 3. Now we can speed up to 5 if you want that. Tier 2 has been achieved. Our town hall has been upgraded a bit. The next upgrade will take a lot more time. 150 people we need, especially then in that center. Now with that, we have a bunch of more buildings unlocked that we can now use. And one of the first ones that you need to build is at the wagon shop. I kid you not. The wagon shop produces carts so that we can transport more resources. And it's the requirement for a lot of other industrial buildings that we have. So the wagon shop it is. It is also repairing carts that have been damaged. So yeah, let's have it over here. Close to my fields, close to my storage area, close to my industry zone. Housing, we have 56 places available right now. Should be fine for a while. And Christmas season, everybody goes home. Also 4 new villagers immigrated and 2 more were born. Also, we should build a school now, the game tells us. Easier said than done. This school is freaking expensive. It cost me 150 gold, but also 30 clay. Clay is something I don't have yet. We need to build the wagon shop first. This will then allow me to build me a clay mine. Another salvage good deposit was depleted or was used, and with that we're getting basically the same resources again: some stone, arrows, weapons, clothing, and gold. Very good, especially about the gold. Also, we finished the wagon shop. This is now a building that consumes planks, right? So we gotta be a bit careful about that. One person is working in this. I'm also ramping up now my saw pit here with 4 people, that we can produce more carts then out of that. Okay, the wagon shop unlocks me now 2 important buildings. The first one is the work camp. This one is finally now a permanent source of wood that we can assign. So let's have the work camp here by the saw pit, where we do need then the wood as well, right? The second building is the clay pit. 30 planks, that's gonna take some time, but there is a rich clay deposit over there. So let's also build this one here right away and get the road all the way then up here. These constructions will take some time, unfortunately. Since we have a lot of people joining, we have 11 laborers available right now, 4 builders, very good, and also 10 farmers working the fields for this year. Perhaps we can, yeah, very nice, squeeze in another field work here. Wanna have those farmers busy. Okay, lots of new villagers. Also, we got dysentery. Geralt has been stricken with dysentery. Intestinal infection that can cause vomiting and diarrhea. Villagers left without clean water sources are susceptible to this. Didn't you drink clean water, Geralt? What is going on? We have a well over here that has plenty of water stored. That's the first sick person we have now in Sleepy Hollow. By the way, we got 4 knowledge points. Let's move into mining. Gonna unlock me that. This gives me the iron mine. I would also like to increase my taxation, so we get a bit more tax generated for each home within a market area. Let's actually push this by 2 times. And I would also like to, yeah, move towards my disease resistance here for my crops. Very good, the work camp has been finished. Now we can assign an area where we chop down trees automatically and also stone, right? So we do have lots of trees here and some stone deposits. So let's assign this area here now. And yeah, let's make this one full with 4 people doing this now non-stop. No way to actually grow trees at the moment though. But we can mark here mature trees only, so they're not gonna chop down any saplings.
Hello.
Well, hello there to you, Lyric. I hope you're not drinking polluted water like Geralt did. Oh, this also looks great over there. A huge stone deposit. that we can use. And there's coal coming up. It's also going to be useful later down the road. 200 firewood, that is fine. Food is fine right now. Geralt is still sick. We don't have a healer at the moment, so that's not going to work out. Finally, Geralt has recovered, is on the job again. He didn't die. Great stuff. Heavy building materials like planks can be then carried with carts, so this is why carts are so important. Otherwise, this will take just a very long time. And with that, the clay pit is ready to be finalized. And there it is. Got ourselves a clay pit. 2 people. Yeah, I think that's fine. 2 people working now the clay, and with that we have the ability to, yeah, get us a school and stuff like that going. This is not infinite though, by the way, right? So at some point this clay pit will be gone because it's not infinite. You need to find infinite sources like this one over here, and then you need to get the tag as well to unlock your infinite buildings. So yeah, that's a long way road off. Oh, by the way, a deep gold deposit just appeared over there. That's gonna be juicy. Could also attract way more raiders than before. There's also another source of deer. Deer is just very important because not of the meat really, but because of the leather we're getting out of it. The pelts and the tallow. So this is a production that I'm opening up soon now. And this is what happens when you do a mistake when you assign crops. So I'm glad it happened now. And that's, I misclicked this one here. I wanted to go with beans, and we took pea for the summer season, which is bad. Because this is probably going to be a total loss, right? So 170 crops have been lost already because of the heat out of the 300 that we can get out of here. So this is going to be a total loss in harvest there. But it's fine that it happened now. So peas always at the end of the year, preferably, right? And the beans are actually in the center of it. It's just a very similar symbol for me. There you go. Oh, by the way, here's nothing. I'm gonna go ahead with another clover. You only need the field work once in every 3 years, right, to get rid of the weed. Not every year. And yeah, those deers, look at them, patrolling the fields, trying to enter. Here they can enter. As soon as there is a human close by though, they usually stop doing it. But yeah, let's just have this fence also going all around here, so that we close off this field here to them. Looks much better now. The fence here has been finished actually. So those fields are much more secure now than before. In fact, I do need more housing again. Yeah, let's have another shelter here. And I'm also gonna continue with that block here. Alright, so that we have another block of housing just here. Together with the central spot. And the central spot can already be decorated, by the way, by a garden. Or I think even the shrine, right, that we have. Yep, there you go. Costs me though quite a bit. Shrine like this, but it's worth it. We're gonna do this once we want to push then for tier 3, because then you need to have the desirability rating there again. The school really is more important though, so let's place this school, and the reason why I'm doing it here is it's close to the houses, so that they get the +7 desirability bonus coming out of a school, right? Having this one here, and there should be then room behind it for a festival pole. Perfect, right, like this. So a nice little festival plaza area in the center of town. So this is why I'm reserving those spaces, and here I can see a temple then coming up at some point. A drought is upon us. Should be fine for the crops that we have, so the beans, but where's the cabbage? The cabbage, is it drought resistant? Drought tolerance for the cabbage is only at 5, and for my beans it is 6, so they can sustain that much better. Spending 150 gold on the school, it's not waste, right? With that, the kids get education, and that means they're also then more efficient at working in adult times. And also, this next block is coming along as we continue the growth. So far so good. Sleepy Hollow is now starting to grow. We're in the year 4. Right, it's been 4 peaceful years so far with survival, with trying to survive the elements. Now, since we have established a bit of a society here, raiders will appear soon, and we probably should also start some fortifications for this as well, for the first attacks then. I hope you enjoyed this one, Farthest Frontier version 1.0, full release version in the playtest, and we continue onwards then in the next episode. Thanks for watching, stay tuned.